Well, boys and girls, here we are. We have made it out to the lake, and I am so excited to be out here today. Now, the leg is still broken. I'm gonna have to fish sitting down in that chair right there like old Bill Dance, but I'm out here, we're going fishing, and I am super, super excited about it. I'm out here fishing with Dad today. We brought his boat. We're gonna see what we can get done. We're on a Highland reservoir that I've not been on in probably over a year. Dad came out here the other day and got on a few. And so we're gonna come out here and try to get back on the pattern he was on. They were eating jerkbaits, small body crankbaits, that kind of stuff, a lipless here and there. And so we're gonna see if we can kind of repeat that pattern. Since he's been out here though, we've had a pretty substantial cold front. Air temperatures are in the mid 30s right now. It's gonna get up to like the 40s today. So it's cold, but it's not super cold. Water temperatures are somewhere in the low to mid 50s. And so, the water's not super cold, but the air is super cold. So we're just gonna have to see if we can get on them, if we can find them, see what's up. But yeah, I'm excited to be out here. It's the first time I've been fishing since I broke my foot. And the last time I went fishing was when I broke it, and I broke my leg. And the last time I did that, I was on the saltwater. And so it's been almost a month now, over a month since I've been fishing. So I'm excited to be out here. I'm excited to be out here with Dad. I'm excited to hopefully put some fish in the boat, and I'm excited to bring you guys along. But yeah, I'm gonna shut up. We're gonna get into today's video and see if we can go catch some fish. Be tough. Check out this little number.
What is that?
6 cents. Called the Provoke. All right, boys and girls. Here we go. I'm cold, but here we go. I'm gonna start out with the old 6 cents here. I actually just got this in my tackle warehouse order that I put in. This is 6 cents Provoke. I've never used it before. I've heard a lot of good things. So we're gonna throw it, and we're gonna see what we can get done with it. I have to say, fishing a jerkbait sitting down is a pretty interesting experience so far. Maybe a big old 5-pounder will make it worth it though.
He'll catch out from that. He'll catch out over that.
Good, there you go, bud.
He'll catch out over that from
Somebody. There you go.
That's a spot, dude.
Is it?
Yeah, they'll give him hell over. I guarantee you Mark will give him.
Good God, what a spot.
Good, man.
Lord have mercy, look at that spot right there. Dang, dude. Hails, bales. What a spot.
He's a pretty one, ain't he?
Dude, looks like a Coosa River spot.
That's like them we catch him with.
Wow, man.
Chunks like that.
Good
Isn't that
job.
beautiful? That was fun.
Heck
Right
yeah.
there on that shallow.
Good job. There he is. Damn. Lord have mercy. Yeah. Oh, golly. He just popped the hook out too. I felt it. I'm going that motor. I can't fight you, fish, because I'm sitting down. There he is right there.
That's a big one. Hey,
Hey, broke leg, sitting down.
they're starting to bite.
Heck yeah.
I told you we'd catch one before we get to the point.
You give me some pliers, please.
That's a good. That's a 30-pounder.
Look at that. Look at that, kind of how his back's kind of deformed. You see that?
Yeah, he's been hit by something.
Yeah, that's interesting. These are pretty fish though, man. What do you think, 2 pounds?
He's 2.5.
You got your scale? Let's get our eyes right real quick. All right, zeros.
That wind's blowing right in on
2 pounds, 8 ounces. Dang, dude, you called that one, son. So 2.5. They stroke it.
Oh, I'm telling you.
I mean, like, that's some, I want to kill everything that you have. There you go, buddy. See you, friend. Thank you. All right, boys and girls. There's number 1 with the old broke leg. I actually switched up to the KVD. This is a KVD deep diving jerkbait. Chrome sexy shad. Dad, that's what he was catching them on last time he was here. I threw that provoke for a good while. And Dad actually got several bites on the KVD while I was throwing that provoke. I just don't think it was getting deep enough. These fish are, we're both assuming, me and Dad both, that they're suspending, because both of the fish that we've caught have been hooked in the mouth with the hook, which tells me that they're coming up underneath it and eating it, and that's why you're hooking them as good, and why we're hooking them as good as they are. Dad's actually ate it head first, which tells me that he saw that thing coming. You know, that jerkbait's coming down the bank towards him like this, and he just rushed up under it and ate it. And so, yeah, they're hooking themselves on the front hook or the middle hook, which usually is an indication that they're eating it head first and coming up under it, because you got to imagine that jerkbait's coming towards them like this. And so if they're sitting suspended, they're going to eat it head first, and they're going to get those first 2 hooks. So, yeah, freaking fun is what that was. The spot kind of sucked. You know, I wish I could have fought him a little bit better, but hey, sitting down with a broke leg fighting him, that was pretty solid work right there. So understanding bottom composition while you're fishing, I think, is probably one of the most important things you can do in figuring out fish. And so, as you guys can see here, bottom composition, obviously, if you didn't know, those rocks right there, they run on down into the water. I've had people that really are amazed at the fact that those rocks run on down in the water. I don't know what they think. I don't know if they just think that, you know, the rocks just stop right there and it's just mud, but those rocks, they run on down in the water. Well, you guys can probably see here the bottom composition change from right here directly in front of me to right out here in front of me. And you can see that it's less of the big rock, that more shelved rock, and it turns more into that more kind of sandy, clay kind of bottom with more broken up sparse rock. And both of the fish that we've caught today have been on that more sandy, sparse, broken up kind of bottom. And, you know, there may be a bunch of different reasons for that. Maybe where the crawdads are at, maybe where the bait fish are orienting to. It may be the simple fact that that stuff warms up faster than the white rock. I mean, we all know you wear dark clothes when it's cold outside, you're going to warm up because those darker colors absorb more light. Well, bottom composition and what the bottom's made out of. Did you get roasted? And you can see there, we fished this whole point right here and started down through here, and Dad just got bit. But those darker bottom banks are going to warm up faster. And this time of year, when you're dealing with these cold fronts and you're looking for fish that are wanting to eat, you got to find those fish that are warmed up and that, you know, they're ready to eat. And so really keeping your eye on what kind of bottom composition you're fishing is super, super important. And when you're fishing these highland reservoirs like I'm fishing right now, it's really simple because the water's way down and you can see what the bottom composition is. If you can't, pick something up like a, you know, big ball-headed jig or a Carolina rig, drag it around, you'll be able to feel the bottom composition changes. And oftentimes whenever you hit a composition change, whether it be from sand to gravel, you know, harder rock to more broke up rock, bigger to smaller rock, I mean, any variety of different things, that's what's going to be holding those fish. But yeah, just thought I'd talk about that, kind of point that out. I caught that last fish. We're actually working back through where we've already fished just to see if we can pick up some stragglers, but I actually caught that smallmouth right here. And all this is a point. It's a variation in not only in the bottom contour, but in the bottom composition as you go down through this bank, and that's where that smallmouth was sitting. Gotta get in my seat. I'm good. No, I'm good. No, I'm good.
Sometimes I kind of jump up here.
You're good. Whoop. I've got real good at hopping around on one leg. It sucked the first couple of days, but now pretty good at it. Hey, there we go. Dang, son.
That's a spot.
Is it another spot?
Yeah. Good. Barely look.
No, that's a largemouth, dude. Good fish, man. I mean, dang.
They're chunks, ain't they?
Yeah. Those are just quality fish. I mean, I can't get over how they're all...
They kept the print.
That's good, man. This makes me happy. Look at that. He's skinny though.
Wrung out, man.
Yeah, I wonder why he's so wrung out.
They're just cold.
That's a good little fish, man. Good job.
His crushers are bloody.
That means he's eating crawdads or bait fish or something.
That's pretty.
He's a pretty little fish. Good job. Yeah. Good job, man. So here we are hanging out in the podcast studio. We're going to end today's video right here. But before I do all that, I want to talk to you guys about what I was throwing it on, and some key aspects as to why we put some fish in the boat, and also give you an update about the old leg. So the leg first won't take very long. Went back to the doctor. The bone is healing very, very well. Been doing physical therapy. I got to stay non-weight bearing for one more week. Until Christmas Day. I get to actually start walking on my crutches at like 25% body weight, and then 50% body weight, 75, and then eventually be 100% body weight. And then I have to walk in my boot for a week, and then I have to wear a brace on my leg. And once I have a brace on my leg, I actually get to put a tennis shoe on and all that stuff. Then I go revisit the doctor, and he'll tell me kind of the plan from there. But we are making progress. I get to start walking very, very soon. I'm very excited about it. So that's that. Glad to be heading that way. Thankful for all you guys for the prayers, the comments, the concerns, the messages, checking in on me. It's really, really awesome. But I am getting better, and I'm very excited about it. Also very excited that I got to get out on the boat and to catch a few fish. Now, what did we catch them on? You guys saw in the video we were throwing that 300 size KVD jerkbait, and that was really, really important in today's video for catching fish because of the profile of that jerkbait. The profile of that jerkbait, what makes it really unique is it's one of the more bulky jerkbaits out there, and not just bulky in its height, but also just in its entire diameter. It's a very round, fat jerkbait. It does a really good job of displacing a lot of water. We were also throwing it in a chrome color. That was throwing chrome and blue. I think it was actually called shadow chrome or something like that. And then I was throwing chrome sexy shad. And that chrome color did a really good job on that high bluebird sky day to reflect and to refract a lot of light. And what you got to realize is even though you're not working the jerkbait, in those pauses, it'll still be flashing a lot of light. That jerkbait doesn't sit completely still. It'll roll and it'll tilt, and even the smallest movement of the line will move that jerkbait, and it throws that light, and a lot of the times it can get those fish to react. I love throwing those chrome colors on those bright bluebird sky days. It was actually a post cold front day, and so a lot of those fish that we were trying to catch, we were having to get to react to something. I threw the jig, I threw the lipless, I threw the crankbait, but the jerkbait seemed to be the only bait, and oftentimes it is the only bait. There's just something about that jerkbait. It's kind of like a big swim bait. It'll get those fish to react when nothing else will. So that was really important. Also, the bill on that thing. It was a deep diving jerkbait. It was helping us to get down there in a little bit deeper water, help to hit those fish that really seemed to be suspended about halfway off the bank in about 7 to 8 foot of water. That seemed to be the optimal range to catch those fish. And a lot of them you could tell was coming up under it. And I talked about that in the video, just the way that they were eating that jerkbait. The jerkbait overall was super important. I believe that KVD jerkbait was super important too, just because of that bigger profile. And also, I think that bigger profile helped to mimic those bigger bait fish. We were around a lot of bait fish, but they were very, very small. A lot of glass minnows. But in those glass minnows were gizzard shad and threadfin that were actually eating those smaller bait fish, taking advantage of that opportunity. And I truly believe those bigger predatory fish were just sitting right off, using those breaks, using that little bit deeper water as an ambush point. And as those gizzard shad would move over and start pushing, they would run through and eat the gizzard shad, eat the threadfin that were eating on those smaller bait. Now, so I really believe that jerkbait did a really good job of mimicking those kinds of bait fish and what the fish were eating. So throwing that on a 6'8" medium, moderate fast action Lew's TP1 Black. Had that paired up with a Lew's Mock Crush, 7.5 gear ratio, some 10-pound Strike King fluorocarbon. That is my jerkbait setup. I switched the reel out earlier this year just to test out that crush. I like it okay, to be honest with you. I'll probably switch back to something else. That Mock Crush is a very, very good reel, but it does not handle smaller diameter line very, very well. And so I'm going to have to switch up to something that's going to be able to handle that smaller diameter line. That 10-pound fluorocarbon can be ornery when you're throwing something on it. So I may have to switch out and just switch into something different so they can handle that line better. Not saying the Mock Crush is not a good reel. It's a great reel. It just likes thicker diameter line better. Really, braid is where it excels, and it's held up to all the abuse that I can put it through. So that was the setup. 6'8" rod's really important. You guys saw that moderate action really helped to stick those fish, keep those fish pinned, because the one fish that I did catch sitting down, I was sitting down. I could not use my leverage on the fish. It had all the leverage on me, so that rod helped to keep that fish pinned and to put them into the boat. But that's really what we were doing, finding those fish that wanted to eat that jerkbait. And we had a lot of fish follow our jerkbait to the boat, and I think that really had to do with the fact that the water was clear. We had that cold front move through, and that was really the first significantly cold day that we had, and so some of those fish were more lethargic, not as apt to eat, but they were willing to come investigate that jerkbait and check it out. So me and Dad are going back later this week when that water temperature warms up just a little bit more, that air temperature warms up a little bit more. We'll have a little bit cloudier day with a little bit more wind, and I think that is going to be the key to putting those fish into the boat. The other day was practice. Next day we're going out and we're going to try to hammer them. Even with the broken leg, even having to pull the bill dance out of the back of the boat, we're going to go try to get it done. But as always, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for sticking with me through the broke leg and doing all that stuff. I know it's been crazy. I wish I could have been out there making better and more content for you guys, but I'm dealing with what I got. I'm embracing the suck, and I'm making the most out of it, and I'm enjoying it, and hopefully you guys are too. But as always, you guys are sweet. And thank you for watching.